What is everybody? It is Cobra 146 here on another video. Today, it's going to be me doing my NXT Takeover 2 predictions. And today, or tonight, because basically I'm going to be going to bed very soon. And because of that, I will just be doing this kind of late, and I'll give my thoughts on NXT Takeover 2 because NXT has been showcased recently on Raw, which is a very good sign because younger talent are being put on Raw. And I'm just happy that NXT guys are going to be featured on Raw and actually building up to the NXT, because this is how you really promote the WWE Network, because you can show this other feature of the WWE Network being NXT. And you can showcase that, and you can say, oh, we have Adrian, Neville that can do the red arrow and all these kind of high-flying moves. You have Sami, Zayn, technical wrestler. You have Tyler Breeze and all these different characters and storylines. So you can show all this kind of stuff on Raw and promote it on the WWE Network, which will make people want to go to the network and watch NXT, which is a good move that they did on Raw, and I hope they continue to do that and put NXT stars on Raw and kind of having them have like 1 or 2 segments, which would be really nice to have. Just a little bit of TV time was fine. It doesn't have to be a big 20-minute match. Just be 5-6 minutes. Just take up one segment, because basically, if you're just gonna put filler crap on there, there's no point in having it. Just have NXT guys on there and give them exposure to the audience, so when they come there, they know who that person is. And so it'll, like, say if they have Sami Zayn debut on the roster tomorrow, they'll have people that already know him, and you can have him showcase weeks before, and then when he finally is on there, everybody's like, okay, so this guy, this is his style, this is what we know about Sami Zayn. And if I want to know more about Sami Zayn, I'll go on the WWE Network for $9.99 and go buy it. So, I like how the strategy is used for NXT. I'm sorry, my voice is kind of weird today. It's probably either puberty with my voice, I don't know. It's either that, or it's, probably my sore throat. I have a sore throat recently. But, you know, it's okay. It's nighttime. I'm going to be going to bed soon. So NXT Takeover 2 predictions. Here we go. Mojo Rawley versus Bull Dempsey. They both were a tag team in the tag team tournament to see who would face the Ascension. NXT Takeover 2 is just... This will be an okay match. I'm not expecting much. Bull Dempsey kind of reminds me of Rhino to some degree. And Mojo Rawley is just Mojo Rawley. I'm not much of a fan of Mojo Rawley because I don't like the get hyped, stay hyped. I don't get hyped, I stay hyped. And Mojo Rawley, I mean, you know, it's okay, but you know, it's not my style. Bull Dempsey, I see win here. Nothing much, nothing special. But Rawley is a big a staple of the show, but just not my taste necessarily. Hair versus hair. Enzo Amore versus Sylvestor Lefort. Sylvestor was a manager for quite some time, and now they're kind of having him wrestle again as well. And you have Enzo and Moore come back, and it's hair versus hair, which is something we normally don't see because NXT is normally based on primarily on the wrestling. And now they're going to have a storyline, kind of gimmicky matches, the hair versus hair. One time, I think this is the only really gimmick match they've actually really done. They've done a ladder match one time, but that's the only one I can really think of. Bo Dallas, they had a match with him and Big E, like, lose and you leave NXT and that kind of stuff. But there's not really been many stipulation, gimmicky kind of matches, so this is going to be, like, one of the matches that we normally see. So Enzo Amore, he's normally known for his erotic hair, so it would not make sense because he has short hair anyway. Like, what's the point of having him, you know, cut his hair when he normally, like, does different designs and stuff on it? So what's the point of having all that kind of, what's the point of having him shave his head for him to grow back into the same stuff when they could have Sylvester's look completely changed and they could possibly repackage him and do something else besides being a manager and wrestling here and there? Why necessarily do that when they could just have Sylvester lose this match and get his head shaved? So I see Enzo Amore picking up the win here. Hopefully him and Big Cass tag team again. Soft, okay? And hopefully those guys get to be a tag team again, and they can get past this feud. NXT Tag Team Championship match, Ascension versus Kalisto and Sin Cara. El Local and Kalisto versus the Ascension was a pretty good tag team match, and I'm a big fan of the Ascension. To me, and I'm not sure if they necessarily have a character, or if they do have a character, because they're on the brink of being just there to squash people, meaning this kind of mysterious tag team, or are they just, is that their character, or is they don't have any character at all, they just to simply squash people. I'm not sure what to believe at this point. So what I see is that the Ascension, this will be their final night as the NXT Tag Team Champions, Kalisto and Cara. I don't think Kalisto would go 2 times in a row not defeating the Ascension. They lost the first match, him and El Local, Ricardo Rodriguez, and him and Sin Cara, I see them being a tag team. I kind of see like they could have put Sin Cara back in development. I want him to develop the character before he goes back on the main roster and have Kalisto come up eventually, but probably not for a year at least for Kalisto to debut, because honestly I don't know if this is probably a very good compliment, but maybe I'm just doing Kalisto kind of reminds me of a young Rey Mysterio from WCW. Kind of reminds me of Ultimo Dragon a little bit, and Rey Mysterio, and Kalisto, that's just how I kind of view him. So I can't wait to see what he does on the main roster, and hopefully eventually they have a cruiserweight division or a lightweight division or something like that, and then WWE, and they can have a place for Sin Cara and Kalisto and these other guys like that would really fit that perfect role. But yeah, they're going to be facing the Ascension, and I think they're going to become tag team champions somehow, and the Ascension will leave because they have been conquered, and finally they were like, well, we have to leave here because now that we beat all these tag teams, now they beat us, I can see them having one more rematch and then them losing, because Takeover is a week before, which is this coming Thursday. Next week will be Night of Champions. So what I see happening is that the Usos defeat the Goldust and Stardust, and the Ascension come out after the match after the Usos win, and I see the Ascension debuting then. So after the Ascension lose these set of matches, like the one coming up on Takeover this week and next week on Thursday, I see them losing those matches, and then on September 21st at Night of Champions in Nashville, I see the Ascension debuting, and you can have a new feud spark like that, and you can get the audience familiar with the Ascension, have them introduced in the tag team division, which would be awesome, and I can't wait. So yeah, Kalisto and Cara for the win. For Women's Championship match, Charlotte versus Bayley. This would not be good as Charlotte and Natalya, first off. Charlotte's a great women's wrestler, and Bayley's pretty solid. Bayley's gonna hug you. Bayley's gonna hug you. If you watch NXT, you know exactly what that is. But for my unfamiliar fans, Bayley loves to hug people, and she does the hugplex, or the suplex, and the Bayley to belly suplex, which is basically when she hugs somebody as a belly button. Kind of a weak finisher, but Charlotte, the daughter of the Nature Boy Ric Flair, is the current women's champion, not the Divas Championship, the NXT Women's Champion. And yeah, I'm not necessarily looking forward to the match, but because Bayley's kind of that weak, soft character, kind of like very good French sportsmanship and stuff like that, but I don't see her winning this match. I see Charlotte retaining and seeing other women getting shots at her titles. Maybe Alexa Bliss. I don't know really. But yeah, I don't see the need of them debuting Charlotte just yet. They just really did. They kind of basically 5 months ago just debuted Paige, and they're rekindling and reinvigorating Rosa Mendez's career. But yeah, I don't see the need to debut Charlotte, because where would she be at? Because now they're doing this whole thing with AJ and Paige, and they're having the Bellas, and they're having Stephanie McMahon. So where does really Charlotte fit in this point? So yeah, I see Charlotte retaining her title. NXT title fatal 4-way, the match I'm looking forward to the most. Neville, Adrian Neville, the NXT champion, Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, and Tyson Kidd. These two were in a tag team match, and it was a fun tag team match, and the crowd was really into Adrian Neville. And I noticed that Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry Lawler were really adamant about Adrian Neville and his skills and ability, and they wanted the audience to take notice, which is probably a good sign that Adrian Neville is going to be debuting on the roster soon. I see Adrian Neville coming in, being a high flyer. I of course see him being a high flyer and stuff like that, but I see him being in kind of possibly a tag team at first, or being at these kind of mid-card feuds. I see him possibly debuting against The Miz. I see him coming in and have The Miz kind of make fun of him or whatever because of his accent and blah 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 and his looks or whatever. And then you have Adrian Neville and The Miz start off with a spark of a feud, and then Adrian Neville kind of work his way up in the mid-card. And I don't see him as the main eventer or the WWE World Champion, no way, shape, or form. But I just see Adrian Neville kind of doing stuff like that. So, Adrian Neville, I don't think he's going to walk out with a title. I do not see Tyson Kidd walking out with a championship. Not at all. there's only really, to me, I think, as much as I really want to see Sami Zayn, my guy, Sami Zayn, win the title, Tyler Breeze is walking out of NXT Takeover 2 with the NXT Championship because Tyson Kidd, they don't really have that much for him. Neville, they don't have Neville. There's not really much for him to do because he's just the babyface champion, and he's been facing the same guys over and over and again. And I really don't think that I see anything going for Neville except just debut him already on the main roster because he was pretty over with the crowd, and Sami Zayn was too, but Neville got a big reaction and stuff like that. So Zayn and Breeze, I see Breeze winning the championship because if you have Sami Zayn win the title, that completely takes away the chase storyline of having Sami Zayn come this close to the championship. It just takes away because then that'll be it. Okay, so we've seen Sami Zayn win the championship, now what? And then Tyler Breeze really isn't going to do anything at this point. So have Tyler Breeze win the NXT Championship. Have Neville go on the main roster. Have Tyson Kidd do something else. And then debut like a Bull Dempsey and put him in the main event. And other guys like that. And put them more up to the upper card and stuff like that. And build these guys up. And so you have Zayn as that other top tier guy who's been chasing the title. And he's this close. And eventually he's going to get there. But we don't know when. Tyler Breeze being kind of that, I guess you could say, Randy Orton heel, where he is the champion. He's going to do whatever it means necessary to be the champion. And because of that, it creates conflict and controversy, and Tyler and Sami Zayn is going to try to win the title. A lot of times they're going to be shut down, and eventually Sami Zayn will win the title, and after that, we'll go from there and see who's next on the list of next NXT developmental talent, and see who's the big draw at that point, and then they can debut Sami Zayn on the roster. I don't see Sami Zayn coming to the main roster anytime soon, sadly. I just don't see necessarily fit for him. I could see him debuting in the Royal Rumble or having a time in the Rumble, but that's really all I really see from Sami Zayn. Maybe we might see him sometime soon, which would be good, but hopefully, I think Breeze will win this match, and if Sami Zayn wins, I'll be happy, but I just think it makes logical sense to go with Tyler Breeze. But yeah, this is my NXT TakeOver 2 pay-per-view or WWE Network Live special predictions and / preview. And yeah, I will be talking to you guys later. There'll be probably some more videos coming up soon, but I have school and I've been kind of busy, and I'm sorry for the lack of uploads, but I got to do some more stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching, and subscribe and like and comment. Give me your thoughts about this preview. Give your thoughts. I probably would not be doing a review, but I might do like a late review or something like that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and leave your thoughts on TakeOver below, and random stuff you ever want to talk to me about. Okay, guys, I'm tired. Peace.